Here comes George, got the step and spoofs one move and counts in the foul. He beat LeBron James with that quick step. A sensational move by Paul George. Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands. Oh, this is awful. Fans are getting involved. Steven Jackson's in the fans.
Danny Granger, guys, was the steal of last year's draft. Not bad for a guy that wasn't recruited by big D1 schools. He was headed to Yale before Bradley finally got in on him, Brent.
The team elevating to the point where you could look out and say to yourself, I think this team, if they keep improving, could really do something in the Eastern Conference. There were just some parts of our team that I wasn't sure was fitting together the right way.
With the 17th pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Roy Hibbert from Georgetown University.
Granger catches, shoots for three to win it! He hits it! Danny Granger at the buzzer hits a three-point shot, and the Indiana Pacers have won the game here in Phoenix.
It is my honor to present Danny Granger of the Indiana Pacers with the 2008-2009 NBA Most Improved Player of the Award, presented by Kia Motors. Congratulations, Danny.
Running out on the Jazz as Granger goes baseline, uncontested, and hammers it down. A walk in the park for Granger. 42 points for Danny Granger.
With the 10th pick in the 2010 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Paul George of Fresno State University.
Allison got a piece of it and the steal, and DC throws it down.
They did a good job anticipating there, and Rondo went to sleep just enough.
I see myself as a two. I see myself as a shooting guard, playing and creating for others, and just being on the wing or help a backcourt. You know, I just see I can fill that role well.
I believe in myself. Like, I know our players. I know what they need. I know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and I just got to make some adjustments and try to win each game.
5 seconds. Granger, step back jumper to win it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3/10 of a second.
We got him on that one.
The Bulls over the Pacers, 116-89. Only their second playoff series win since back in 1998.
With the 15th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Kawhi Leonard from San Diego State University.
He's got the experience. We know that Paul's still very young. George Hill's a good NBA player. I'm sure you all seen him play. Great kid. He's professional and he's going to add a lot.
After spending his entire career in the South, David West figured it was time to head north. So far, no regrets, as the once popular New Orleans star is enjoying his time with the Pacers.
I see us getting past the first round as well. I see this team just being a team that's on the rise and a team that's going to be talked about a little bit more and seen on highlights a little bit more.
Jeff Foster offensively.
Oh, what a pass by Stevenson! And then it's Paul George!
Oh my goodness! Defense, they get the opportunity for the fast break.
Larry is the first person in NBA history to win Most Valuable Player, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year honors. Congratulations, Larry Bird.
And Indiana is moving on. 105-87. The Pacers win the best-of-7 series, 4-1. Indiana becomes the first team of the Eastern Conference to advance.
Miami wins 3 in a row to take the series in 6 games. They were tested, they were challenged, but they emerged victorious once again. And the Miami Heat going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're scoring goal.
Mahimi blocks the shot. Indiana has 10. They blocked 10 shots.
Not hard for me, it may be hard for everyone else. I just kind of taking it stride, you know. This last season with an injury, then I straightened my calf, you know. It's just one of those things, you know. Once I get over this hump, I think I'll be okay.
The good thing about this group is we've got so many guys we can rely on. And everybody's not going to be off or have a rough night at the same time. If we're executing better than the other team, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win.
George Hill's going to pull it out. Paul George goes to the rim for the emphatic dunk. Paul George cuts to the basket and just gets up and over Sanders, the shot blocker, and throws it down.
On Tuesday, they won at home. Here's Paul George. The throw down by Paul George. The Pacers, though, have yet to lead. The Nets lead by 8.
I really wanted to come back and improve player. I really put the work into it. I put the time into it. Coach B. Shaw came down and, watched me work out. And I really just wanted to show how dedicated I was to this year.
Presence, lob, and slam. It's Hill on a special delivery.
And Harris is trying to beat Paul George over the screen. No ball pressure. It's easy for athletic Paul George.
I wonder if he was coming in for JR. Anthony attacks. Hibbert denies him at the rim. Block number 5 for the Pacers center. Oh, what a play. Ball's deflected away. West. George fires for the tie. Oh, got it. George with a three-pointer to tie the game with 7/10 of a second remaining, and Miami calls for time. Here comes George, got the step and stuffs one move and counts in the foul. He beat LeBron James with that quick step. A sensational move by Paul George. Back, Miami gets back, and George in the face of Bosch, serving up a facial. Look at this. This exchange. Phenomenal dunk over the top of Bosch.
George just 2 of 9, 7.7 rebounds. Who would have thought it'd be this easy to close it out for the Heat? Everybody loving it as LeBron James leading the Heat to the NBA Finals.
I am waiting and seeing on Paul George. I saw a bona fide MVP candidate. I was extremely impressed by Paul George.
What I love about Indiana is that they're coming and they want Miami. These guys want to play Miami just as badly as they want to win a championship.
But he had a few games where he came in there and completely changed the game with his defense and as a rebounder and scorer. So I don't know how much he's going to be in the rotation early on for the Pacers.
It's not going to dictate every night wins and losses by having Evan Turner. And that second unit is going to be too difficult because Evan Turner's a starter. He's not a bench guy. He's a guy who should start.
Philadelphia's leading scorer.
I have never, ever seen anything like this collapse this late in the season happening to a contending team. It's such a mess right now. I don't think even the great Larry Bird, who proved he could really coach, taking a seat on the bench would turn this around. And here he goes.
Here we go.
PG
what you got?
Puts on
Oh, yeah, PG.
That is the one. There's no question.
Oh,
that
my
is
goodness.
the one.
Established over the first 3 quarters of the season on display from the opening tip in this game. It was about the D and the trio of George, Hibbert, Stevenson.
The Pacers outscored the Wizards 20-6 to end the game, and that's David West knocking down the jumper from the top of the key. Indiana wins at 93-80, and they'll head back to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the Miami Heat.
I have seen and heard enough of the Pacers. They are mentally finished. They have realized they cannot compete with this Heat team. I believe that will manifest itself one more time.
Full celebration about to begin. For the 4th consecutive year, the Miami Heat are heading to the NBA Finals. First team in 27 years to accomplish the feat.
It makes no sense that they let Lance go. Obviously, their second best player. He meant so much to them, and the Pacers were short-sighted in how they dealt with this situation. Maybe Lance Stevenson was a little prideful.
It was a little bit too fast for his own good. Nice contest, but a foul by Paul George as Paul George ran into the stanchion.
Yes, Paul George is a massive part of that defense, but this is still going in theory to be a very good defensive team that can win you a lot of basketball games, 40 wins, whatever. It wouldn't be that far-fetched for them to be still right there in the race or to even crack in there, right?
Here's Paul George. His first shot is good.
He just got to throw that one at the rim.
Hands it off, and Hill blocked it from behind.
It's going to dunk.
Down, and boy, did he pound it. George Hill.
Pedal to the metal. Oh, my.
With the 11th pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Miles Turner from the University of Texas.
Roy is headed to the Lakers in a trade that's very close to being finalized. This is a salary dump for the Pacers, who are on the hook for $15 million had Roy stayed on the roster. They'll reportedly get a second-round pick and other assets.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for Monte to shoot, and shoot he likes to do. So I think he's going to have opportunity. He's going to take that opportunity, and he's going to become a little bit more appreciated, because I think he has been underappreciated.
Just knowing where I was at in my career, in my mind, what to play for, why to keep playing. This was really the only spot, that made sense.
I think this is a year in transition for this team. I don't think they want Paul George starting in the power forward forever. And they've got Miles Turner, Jordan Hill, Yamahimi. That's their front court rotation. That's a huge, huge question mark to me.
That left shoulder into him, and that frees up. What a dunk. Like pirouetted up to he launched himself up to the rim. And George with a 7-point quarter.
Off the mark. Loose ball. And they get another possession. He threw up his... Oh! I can't believe it went in! Paul George! And he was looking for the foul. They take out the Pacers in 7 games to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. 89-84 the final.
I think Frank Vogel got screwed over here. Larry Bird says he wants a more up-tempo system. They only average like 97.6 points per game. Well, whose fault is that? You're going to tell me that it's Frank Vogel?
With the 20th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Karis LeVert from the University of Michigan.
The Hawks have shipped veteran point guard Jeff Teague to the Pacers. In return, the Pacers are trading guard George Hill to the Jazz. Hill will also be a free agent next summer. He's coming off a season where he averaged 12 points and 4 boards per game.
The rest was history. I was like, done deal. I didn't talk to no other team. I didn't look and see what anybody else had to offer me. I'm like, okay, this is where I want to be.
I think this is a middle of a pack team, but there's a lot of potential on that team with Paul George as a superstar. This is just one more year out from his huge, huge leg injury. He's only getting better. I believe in Paul George.
Yeah, I talked to Joe a little bit.
He threw it down!
This is unbelievable. He goes, and Capella, come take that. That's posterizing there.
Well, he followed up a triple-double, a 40-point triple-double with 33 here today. And a demonstration of mutual respect for Paul George.
I think Paul George is gone. I think Larry Bird knows this is a rebuild ahead of us. And now here they are getting swept in the first round. I think it's over. The ship has sailed. Jim, I think he's moving on, and I think Larry Bird says, I don't want to rebuild at the age of 60.
The Pacers could still offer him a smaller extension this summer, or he could just wait until next summer where he's a free agent. Pacers could also trade George rather than risk losing him eventually in free agency.
Paul George will be the perfect fit for Russell Westbrook. This was an all-time great deal and steal. An Oladipo and a Sabonis, all that for Paul George. Really?
Anticipation by Victor, who wants to work on showing you what he's got. You get some great help here. You see an athlete. Victor throws it down nice and easy.
Could Indiana surprise some folks? I don't think it'll happen, but I certainly wouldn't just summarily dismiss them and say they have no chance, because they have talent. They are exceptionally well coached by Nate McMillan.